Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early November 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my gods. Talk to me. What do we got for Virgo here in early November? What are the vibes? What energies, messages, insights can you take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Well, let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo. Please and thank you. What's the vibe for early November Scorpio season here for my good friends? Guides and spirit team. Oh, the deck is being a little particular. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Beautiful. Now, this card doesn't really come out often, okay? And I do like it. It is highly spiritual. It does speak about the big picture. So for some Virgos, whatever you're going through now, that might fit into the big picture of your journey as a whole. But again, this card is rare, so I like whenever it shows up. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So we see this individual and dressed up in what seems to be a costume, but is being guided along. Notice there's white birds or doves holding this person up by ropes. And in symbolism, divination, white birds generally represent that love and light type of energy. Guides, angels, your spirit team, whatever name we want to name it, ancestors for some of us. And they are helping this person along in their journey. There's this beautiful background, which also implies spiritual protection. So when I see this, it's like, all right, well, reinforce that energy or message to the Virgo collective that you are not alone. You're being watched over, you are being protected. So this is a beautiful energy. Now, I do believe most people have some form of protection naturally, but sometimes it's heightened. So maybe there's something Spirit's trying to insulate you from when this card shows up, because it's rare. But notice they're helping this person along their journey. That's why I said this card to me is very much big picture. So there could be certain things going on now or certain things that you're experiencing where they are a step in the broader journey. Just think long-term or think big picture. We're going to leave it at that for now. Let's see what tarot has this week. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive, juicy stuff. Let's shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Virgos. What's happening? And yeah, while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Surprising Return. So keep in mind, even energies could bleed over from week to week. For a lot of Virgos, there could be situations popping back up, individuals that you haven't heard from in a while. It's like things popping back up out of nowhere. So that could bleed over for a little bit. And I will say this, even the past couple of weeks, there's been this odd energy of mystery around the Virgo collective as well. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going here. 3 for Virgo, please. What's happening in early November? Scorpio season. Thank you. Okay. So we're starting off with the 5 of Cups. Not the best start. It's all good, though. There's still plenty more cards to go. But this person does not seem to be super happy or jolly. Let's get a couple more out here. Let's see what we got going for Virgo, please. Thank you. We got the 7 of Swords next to this 5 of Cups. What is happening, my good friends? What is going on? Okay, let's get one more. What we got for Virgo, please? Okay, you're going to have a bonus this week, my friends. But we have the 3 of Pentacles right here on the back end, which could represent groups of people, could represent work and career. And then you also have the Magician, which has been showing up quite a bit for Earth signs this week. So I like that that's there. But yeah, we got some things that are catching my attention already. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, yeah, we have a nice mixture of elements. And you know, I always look at the elements and how they play. We have water, we have air. Both of these are internal energies of the heart, the mind, and logic. We also have the Pentacles, earthy energy, which is something you're very comfortable with. It represents routine, it represents work and career, the material aspects of life. And we have this spiritual energy taking up the back end with the Magician, the master of all elements. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play, whether it's all one situation or multiple. There could be some rough waters that some of you are dealing with. That's okay, though, right? Life is always up and down. But let's start off here in position number one. Let's build this out. We have the Five of Cups. So we see our pal here all dressed in black, all goth and emo. He's a little upset about something. A lot of readers do call this the River of Tears. Now, I say with all cards, especially the challenge ones, that they're on a spectrum. They don't always have to be worst case scenario. It doesn't always have to be heartbreak and literal tears. Sometimes it could be gloom, right? There you might feel a little gloomy, you might feel a little down, or something could just be affecting your mood in some way or another. It could even represent anxiety, nervousness when this card shows up. But again, it could also be intense. So for some Virgos out there, maybe you're going through a trying time or a trying period. This could also represent somebody you're connected to where they might not be in the best place when this card shows up. The good, because, you know, I always like to give the good and the challenge. The good of the Five of Cups is that it's not permanent. Like I was saying with that very first card that came out, this is just a step along the journey. So for some of you, yeah, maybe there is a situation or a problem that you're dealing with, and it feels like there's something temporary about it, which I would say is a good thing, especially if you're dealing with something that's like not too pleasant to deal with. So notice there's more to come. The cups are not all spilled. There's something in the background, so there's more potential, even though like this one doesn't feel the best. So we'll circle back to that and see what's up. Because that energy could most definitely change. Moving to the center, the reason it's got me paying extra attention, because if we had a very positive card coming up next to it, I would be like, okay, yeah, this Five of Cups isn't that bad, but we have the Seven of Swords. Now, for every reader out there, you know why I'm reacting the way I am. Seven of Swords is not known to be the nicest energy. We can see it as a neutral. Now, I'll give you the positive and the challenge of this. When it comes to the positives of the Seven of Swords, it could just represent mystery, the unknown, something that is outside of our view. Okay, something that hasn't arisen yet, or just a piece of information that's not known to us. In its challenge, it could represent secrecy. Sometimes it could represent somebody that's not forthcoming, a liar, if I'm using plain English. It could represent thieves and just people that aren't the most trustworthy. So there might be a particular individual that Spirit might be trying to give you a heads up about. Like, okay, just be careful with that one. Be careful with that one. But in its most positive sense, like I said, it's the energy we've been seeing for you for weeks, where it's just like, okay, that came out of nowhere. So we'll see what's up with that when we get to the back end. Obviously, it doesn't tank the whole reading because we have a lot more to go. Now, on to the back end, we do have the Three of Pentacles, and you are getting a similar reading or similar energies coming through that I saw in the Capricorn, because it's like I saw energy of the Capricorns themselves, but also the people they surround themselves with. And the Three of Pentacles, it's a group dynamic. It represents multiple individuals. So whether that's coworkers, family members, acquaintances, friends, it's a group dynamic here. And usually it's teamwork makes the dream work. Good things are flowing. For some of you might just have career things on your mind when this card shows up, like all about those pentacles. Nothing wrong with that. But there's more than one energy showing up here, especially with this on the back end. Usually it's very good and reliable, but when it comes to the challenge of this card, it could represent too many people trying to call the shots, or too many people being involved in a situation, of course, or someone that doesn't work well with others. And it can, especially next to the Seven of Swords, be Spirit giving you an important warning or a serious warning of some kind about someone in your circle. So we're going to want to look at this further for sure. Now, when we get to the back end, the very back end with our bonus card, we do have the Magician, okay? And master of all elements, and I always say this is a card manifesting and creating to me. So just know I feel like it's with the earth sign specifically at this time, that your powers to create, your powers to manifest and draw something to you are extra heightened when this shows up. So we're going to have to dig deeper to see what all this energy could be about, because right now I feel like it could go both ways. It could possibly turn out really good, could possibly be something you want to be very cautious with. Let's go deeper. We're going to jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. See what's happening for the Virgos, please. What is going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Five of Cups. Let's see what the issue might be. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Five of Cups time. Nice and quick. Where's that Five of Cups here for my good friends? Thank you. 10 of Wands. Yeah, this doesn't feel easy. This does not feel super easy to me, especially Five of Cups with the 10 of Wands. Like, it's something that, I don't want to say it feels like a struggle, but it's something that hits hard. I especially want the Virgo collective to be extra cautious of their health and wellness in this time. Pay extra close attention to how you're feeling physically, because the 10 of Wands, to me, I do connect to physical health and vitality. So for some of you, you might just be feeling a little bit down, especially health-wise. Now, aside from that, especially your neck, back, and spine, for some of you, might be holding tension there, so make sure maybe you need to get a little rub down. But aside from that, when I see the Five of Cups with the 10 of Wands, like, this does feel like a big problem, and it feels like something that's not super easy to deal with. So for some of you, whether it's something you've been dealing with for quite a while, whether it's something new that pops up, it's like, okay, I'll get through it. I'll get through this, but this is a rough period. It's a rough time. Now, if you're good, if everything is all peaches and cream with you, awesome. That's what I want to hear, actually. But there could be someone you are connected to with the Five of Cups and the 10 of Wands that they might be taking something harder than they portray. That's a big thing I'm picking up here, where someone's taking something a lot harder than they're letting on, okay, with this energy combination. But again, with that 10 of Wands, there's a lot of determination there. There's a lot of forward movement still. So let's keep moving. I want to get over to that Seven of Swords, and then especially that Three of Pentacles. So let's see what's going on here. So yeah, it does feel like a problem of some sort. It's all good though. So why is that Seven of Swords in the mix for you? What is going on? Okay. Eight of Wands in reverse. Now, again, I feel like this ties into the reading we had last week, because sometimes the Eight of Wands in reverse, to me, that's either a sudden stoppage of something, like, or it's like, we're slamming on the brakes. Like, it could be Spirit really cautioning you as well. Like, whoa, whoa, Virgo, you're not seeing the whole picture here. You're not seeing the big picture just yet. You still need more information about something. That could be very possible with this energy here in the center, and this can be a very important or serious warning already moving forward. However, I'm picking up that tie to the reading we saw last week of things returning or things reemerging. So keep in mind, whether it is situations, whether it is individuals, just be very cautious about anything that cycles back in this time, anything that reappears, reemerges, because that could be part of this warning as well. Now, the Eight of Wands is usually a card, you see it, like the Eight Wands are arrows cutting through the sky, fast forward movement. It's conversational, it's talking as well. This is a big card of conversation. When it shows up in reverse underneath the Seven of Swords, this feels like a big secret, where there's a lot of secrecy. So whether there's something that you're feeling, or something you know that you're not letting on about, or whether it's somebody else, I feel like there's more information necessary. So this does feel like a warning about whatever situation you're going through, whether it's personal, whether it is work-wise. Spirit could be just telling you to, like, take your time. You don't know all the information just yet. More information is coming. Okay, so let's keep going. That is a warning. Let's see what the Three of Pentacles has, and we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. So let's go in on that three. What is happening for my good friends? Thank you. All right, good. Finally. I don't know why I'm using that term, finally, but for some of you, if there is something you've been, like, waiting on, I mean, just the way this felt to me, it felt very refreshing. For a portion of you, you could receive some sort of big assistance, or something happens just like in the nick of time, where it's like, okay, I was kind of doubting that was going to happen, but I'm glad it did. It's like we squeak that one out. I don't know why this energy is coming through. So keep that in mind, especially if there is anything that's a problem or anything that you're struggling with, especially if the reading was hitting. When I see the Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, like, that's like the knight in shining armor coming to save the day. Not saying you need that, not saying that's exactly what's going to happen. It could just be a relieved type of energy. So again, there's a mixed bag, and it's all good. Now, for some of you, when I have the Knight of Wands, This is an action card. Okay, it's a fire sign possibly, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and it's all about taking action. So when I see it with the Three of Pentacles, for some of you there can be changes coming in career, what you do for a living. There could be changes within groups of individuals as well when I see this with the Three of Pentacles. But with all the warnings I was seeing, don't rush anything in this time. Like, take your time, slow and steady. But to me, I just feel this like, finally type of energy. So just know you could have a breakthrough of some sort. It could be from a friend, it could be from someone you know, but whoever or whatever this is on the back end feels like a godsend to me, especially with all this stuff happening up here. So for a small portion of Virgos, maybe there's someone that's going to ask for your assistance. Maybe this will be the energy you're coming in as, you know, because it's not always someone coming in to help you. Sometimes it's you coming in to help somebody else as well. So it's like, it's beneficial. I don't know why, like, these are unique messages I'm getting for you this week. So let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. I was a little nervous in the front end, but we picked it up on the back. Let's go through. Position number 1, we have the 5 of Cups with the 10 of Wands, and this does feel like something that's a problem or problematic, something that's just a lot. If that's not you, it could be someone else you're connected to that's really going through something or going through a rough patch. Especially watch out for your health and well-being in this time. In the center, we have the 7 of Swords with the 8 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, it did give me secrecy type of energy. There could be certain information that you don't know quite yet. Somebody could be withholding information. This is Spirit telling you to, like, take your time. Don't rush anything because there's still information that's going to come forth. So that is a serious warning, especially about the people we surround ourselves with. Now, on the back end, we do have the 3 of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands. Like I said, just in the nick of time, this energy feels like a godsend. So whether you're helping someone out in a big way or someone comes in and helps you, it's like, okay, that happened with the perfect timing. Another portion of you could be having changes within career or work. But I like the ending of this. It does feel good. But this energy up front, I do feel is like a serious warning. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle for my lovely Virgo friends. Let's see what's happening here. Guide, Spirit team, what's going on? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this card out here. What do we got for Virgo in the shadows? Thank you. High Priest is very intuitive, sensitive to energy. So when I see this card show up in the shadows, yeah, it kind of fits the deal with what we have here in the center about more information that could be forthcoming. So that could be a good thing. Just don't rush things. Pisces energy, I also link her to all water signs. So for some of you connected to a water sign, they can be showing up here in the shadow portion. But to me, this is a highly intuitive card. This could be Spirit saying, like, hey, Virgo, go with your gut on something, go with your intuition. But also the fact that for a lot of you, you might be extra sensitive to energy. You might be extra empathetic in this time when we see her showing up in the shadows. So it's like that little mixture of more information coming, things that you don't know becoming known, but also a strong sensitivity to energies. So I would trust your gut in this time with whatever situation you're dealing with. So yeah, Virgo, that is what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The November subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my all-time favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you feel is the most misunderstood? And if you're new to tarot completely, which one do you have a little trouble with understanding its meaning? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.